And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to We Recommend Cell Phone Plans, episode number 2. We are recommending the best cell phone plans for students. We actually got a question on the last show. What are the best cell phone plans for students? And I thought this would be a great episode to answer that. Of course, school is starting back up. So Dennis and I are here today to talk about cell phone plans for students. Dennis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good as always. Got my braces off.
Dennis having a beautiful smile over there. Absolutely love to see it. But yeah, when I think of cell phone plans for students, I kind of think of maybe 3 main categories, okay? Right? You've got your on-campus students, you've got your off-campus students, and you've got maybe some international students, some foreign exchange students, something like that. So Dennis, where do you think we should start with this idea of what are the best cell phone plans for students?
Yeah, let's start with students that are living on a campus.
Okay. So you're on campus. That typically means you're in a dorm room. You've got maybe a roommate. You're probably on campus Wi-Fi most of the time. Would you say that's probably true?
Yep.
And so that would mean what? Low data usage, light plan? What are you thinking here, Dennis?
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you're living on campus, you probably don't need almost any data because your campus probably has Wi-Fi distributed all throughout the grounds, including in like the Arboretum and everywhere else that is on the facilities of the campus. So
you're in a nice, cozy Wi-Fi blanket.
Yeah, basically, you could get away with a very small amount of data, generally speaking. And if that is the case, I think that any affordable cell phone option that maybe comes with, we'll say 4 gigs of data or less should do you just fine. And the only reason why I say 4 gigs is just because it still helps to have a little bit just in case you need to go off campus for some reason or another. Maybe you're going grocery shopping or something because you don't have the food plan.
Right. You're getting some meals. You need your grocery list loaded up. You want to stream some music in the car. So I've the best cheap plans pulled up now on the Best Phone Plans site. I think Tello, honestly, super great option to consider for a low usage plan. They actually have a bunch of affordable options to choose from, and these are monthly, so you can kind of pick how much talk, text, and data you want. Like I know for me, I actually didn't need a whole lot of minutes with my plan. Like I would call on FaceTime. So if we go to Tello and we go to their plans, you can customize the plan where you can drop the minutes to, let's say, 100 minutes. That should be good, and your price actually goes down with it. And it looks like they are offering a discount, back to school promo. I didn't even plan that. But you're getting a discount on the service for your first 6 months, actually, which is pretty neat.
That is pretty fantastic.
That's pretty good, right? Like, let's pull up, like, if you want a nice 4 gig plan with 100 minutes, $12 a month for your first 6 months on the
I'm
T-Mobile
just going to
network.
say something, though, Stetson, real quick. I know you personally don't do a lot of calling, but I can promise you that 100 minutes is nothing.
300 minutes, how about that? That a little bit better?
It's a little bit better. I was going to say, because 100 minutes, do you make one phone call to your ISP, and you've already chewed through that?
Well, if you're on campus, Dennis, you're not going to have to do that.
Well, okay, but if you're on campus, you're having to call in for other things. Maybe you're calling because you had to replace your Best Buy credit card because of the T-Mobile breach, and
sure,
you got to talk to them for 3 hours in the morning to get it activated.
Right. All right, that's fair points. Maybe upgrade to 300 minutes, 500 minutes, or you can grab unlimited minutes. Either way, some nice perks. And I will say you get free calls to over 60 countries. So I don't know if you've got friends that are maybe going abroad for a semester or something like that. You want to give them a ring on a local international number or whatever. That could be good. I'll throw in a couple other recs here. Red Pocket, decent low cost. I'm a big fan of Mint Mobile and US Mobile here, right? We're looking at Mint's $15 plan. This is for new customers, and if you renew at the 12-month rate. However, if you're a student, odds are you're going to be doing a full year in one location. So I think Mint can be a great option here. US Mobile, $15 for 5 gigs. Awesome plan on the Verizon network if you want it. So you're getting robust coverage. And Hotspot is an add-on.
I actually have a stipulation here. I don't
Yeah.
know if I would recommend US Mobile. I mean, I love US Mobile for their pricing, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd actually recommend them in this circumstance. Because remember, we're talking about someone that's always on Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
What's one feature that US Mobile is missing?
They're missing Wi-Fi calling.
Yeah, that's kind of important, considering if we're using the example case of the students living on campus. I think having Wi-Fi calling is kind of an important feature.
For me, I hear you on that. For me, it's not a deal breaker. For some people, I just think getting that Verizon network would be super great. And I will say what I like about them is that flexibility, right? Where you can have this plan 1 month, you can drop down to a different plan another month if you need even less. Or if you're like, hey, I really want to, do some work in a coffee shop and just use my phone as a hotspot, boom, you can get a hotspot add-on. So I love the flexibility.
Honestly, I think the best one overall is going to go to Mint Mobile. I think they take the cake.
I think you're probably right here. You're getting that savings with the bulk discount. And I would even say, you're probably not going to need a lot of data. So I want to say most students are going to love this $15 4 gig plan. But if you are someone who needs a little bit extra data, then the $30 35 gig plan is a pretty big steal, in my opinion.
Also, honorable mention might go to Red Pocket here if you want to have AT&T coverage.
Yep, honorable mention Red Pocket. This is another annual plan, $20 for 8 gigs on AT&T. I think that's a really great value on the AT&T network. I mean, obviously you could go AT&T prepaid, right? But Red Pocket does have some better, lower cost options. I mean, we have their $15 3 gig plan here on AT&T. It doesn't get much more low cost than that. Again,
that's what I was
perfect
thinking.
for students. Yeah,
was that Red Pocket 3 gig plan because it's month to month as well, which is nice.
Month to month. So I feel like that's kind of on campus, Dennis. You're on campus, you're low data user. What if you're off campus? What do you think would be a great cell phone plan for a student who's living off campus? Maybe they have to purchase their own internet service as well. What do you think would be a good plan in that kind of situation?
I think there's two scenarios here. One is for the student that wants to have a lot of hotspot data, because I remember there was times when I lived off campus at Penn State where we had prolonged internet outages. I'm talking multiple days, and hotspot came in clutch for turning in assignments and doing work off my PC. And the other scenario is, and in that same scenario, people that need unlimited data. And the other scenario is just the person that doesn't need a lot of data, because even though they're off campus, maybe their commute to school might be short. They might take the I can't remember what they called the buses at Penn State, but it's a 15-minute little bus ride, and then you're back on campus Wi-Fi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I want to focus on the unlimited plans, and specifically with a focus on plans that have hotspot in case of those fringe backup scenarios.
Love it. All right, let's see what we got on the unlimited plans page, and you can kind of let me know what you're thinking here. And you could go plan that's not listed here as well. I'm just trying to pull up what are probably going to be some top picks.
So I think hands down for affordability and for what it gives, the visible plan.
Dude, I think this is spot on, right? What makes this such a good number one low cost pick for you right now?
Oh, sorry. What makes this such a good pick? Well, one is that it's technically speaking, if you're smart, it's only $25 a month because of that sweet party pay. #join Stetsons.
Yeah. Should we do a quick check? How many people are in the party?
Go ahead, man.
Place your bets. It was 7,000 last time, I think. 7,537 people, all getting unlimited talk, text, and data on the Verizon network for $25 a month. That's visible.
Yeah, so $25 a month. You got unlimited data, but more importantly, you got unlimited hotspot at 5 megabits per second, which is not blazing fast in today's age, but is more than fast enough for you to adequately do your schoolwork.
100%. I mean, you can stream video, you can stream music in the background, you can load up your textbook online. So I think easily great plan for just unlimited. You don't need to think about it. Taxes and fees included. And Dennis, what's great about this plan is it even supports eSIM, right? So if you want dual SIM or whatever, maybe you're traveling abroad or going international or something like that, you can do that. And you've got Wi-Fi calling and 5G access on the Verizon network up to 200 megabits per second.
Yeah. Now, a second pick to this would be AT&T's unlimited plan for $50.
Yeah.
That is a very honorable mention. 10 gigs of hotspot if you're trying to do schoolwork in a pinch is more than adequate. And it just has all the features. It has all the features on the AT&T network, and it's not bad.
4K video streaming as well, 22 gigs priority data. Like, you're getting the same speed and performance as postpaid subscribers, and it's way less. Like, $50 is such a good steal. So, yeah, I'm with you on AT&T. What's your pick for T-Mobile? T-Mobile, I think.
For T-Mobile, I'm gonna go back to Mint.
You think they're maybe their $30 35 gig plan, or would you go with their 15 gig plan?
It's a toss-up for me, but since we're sticking to like semi-unlimited here, I'd probably just do the $30 plan.
Yeah, so what's interesting is this only has 5 gigs of hotspot, whereas the 25, but you get 35 gigs of data for the phone.
Yeah, but the reason why I mentioned is because if you looked at T-Mobile's prepaid offering, which was $50, it doesn't come with any high-speed hotspot, and it's just capped at that 600 kilobit per second.
Oh yeah, that's awful. That's too slow in my opinion. Like,
the Mint offering is better, and it's still the same like throttling afterwards anyway, pretty much. So to me, that's a way better value. It's $20 cheaper, and it's way better value.
Yep. And I will say, if you want that extra hotspot data, the $25 plan, you can use all 15 gigs as hotspot data with this plan, which is awesome. But, I think the $30 plan is a really great value for on-device data. And I think, Dennis, as we mentioned in the beginning, like, it's really important. This is kind of, I think, more niche for students. Like, when I was a student, I know I wanted to save as much money as possible. I wanted to be able to have a little bit higher weekend spend, do some fun activities, things like that. When it comes down to it, you had Wi-Fi most of the time on campus. I would really consider opting for a cheaper plan like Mint Mobile's $15 4 gig plan, like Visible's $25 unlimited plan, maybe something custom from US Mobile, or just checking out some of the other cheap plans or best plans for students here. Now there's
one.
Yeah, well, I was going to say there's one plan you didn't mention, which I was surprised of, but it sounded like you were almost going to bring up the exact same plan.
I'm not sure if I was, to be honest.
All right, well, I'll go for it. The one plan I'm surprised you didn't mention is Xfinity Mobile. Now, I wouldn't go with their unlimited plan per se, but let's say you're living off campus, right, Dennis, which is the situation. You probably have to get your own home internet service. Maybe Comcast is an option with Xfinity. Boom, you can get you and maybe your roommates on a shared data plan with Xfinity Mobile, and you can bundle internet and phone service all in one, get some group savings. Maybe you can grab yourself a discount on a new phone. We saw they had a bunch of discounts last time we visited, so let's see if we just go to
Shop
for you. Yeah, I think it's Shop, you're right. Let's see phone. Let's just check right now if they have any discounts. Now, we typically recommend buying full price off contract, but if you wanted to, it looks like $400 savings on the new Z Folds. Let's see if we got anything on the Apple devices. They might have expired since the last show.
Yeah, it looks like they did, but I think they have promotions on the Samsung phone still. If you want to check,
I think it's like pretty much every month at the beginning there'll definitely be something. So let's just see what we got for this one. I think it's just the S21 Ultra, $350.
Scroll down, there's more. Yeah, there you go.
Oh shoot, Dennis, good call.
And then I think also they're doing a free Motorola phone still.
Yeah. Anyway, the point being, if you wanted a phone discount, that's something you were interested in. Xfinity Mobile has that option. And honestly, Dennis, I think you could get, like, you've got 3 other roommates. You could probably get everyone on the $30 3 gig plan. Everyone splits that, so it's about $10 per person. Boom, you're good to go. Maybe you need 10 gigs. You bump it up. It's $20 per person. I think you're fine.
I think it's a lot harder than you think to get your roommates on a plan with you, Stetson.
That's probably true. It'd be a unique situation.
But I could totally see this making more sense if we were talking about being a family plan with your folks. But you did kind of touch on something I wasn't going to necessarily touch on to this degree. But one of the things I was thinking about was when I lived on Penn State campus, I remember we all got access to like Xfinity's TV for free. We'd log into the Stream app with our Penn State IDs.
Yeah.
And similar things happened with like off-campus housing. Like they would have like contracts where like your ISP was baked into your like rent. So like you basically were forced to have X, Y, or Z provider. That's where maybe having an Xfinity Mobile makes some sense. But as far as getting your roommates, I don't want to price in that way because I don't think it makes sense in that way because it's a lot harder. But, if we're going back to the whole being a low data user, $15 a month for 1 gig still ain't bad. It's just that there's better options that give you more data.
Yeah, that's true. Like Mint Mobile, we were looking at 4 gigs at this price point. US Mobile was 5 gigs at this price point. So
The only caveat I'll add to that, because I see people mentioning about like the discount, is that technically speaking, in an indirect way, that plan's really like a $5 plan because you get the extra $10 off your internet.
sure.
So that's the only caveat to that. And then also, I will just say, because you were talking about promos, as far as I'm aware, Xfinity is still doing the promo where they give you a $300 Visa prepaid card when you get the cell phone service, which, if we're looking at it from that aspect, $300 basically pays for what's 15 divided by 300 stats. I don't have a calculator about me.
Holy smokes. So it's like $150 for 10 months. So that would be
Pays for 20 months of your cell phone service.
well, yeah,
basically.
$180 for a year. Geez. So it pays for a lot.
Yeah, so it pays for your cell phone service basically for 20 months, which, if you look at it from that aspect, then it's really attractive.
Yeah. So I think what it comes down to is when you're a student, you're trying to get the best price possible, what works with you. And I think the options we've covered have all been great, and they can be great for different situations. And then you want to just kind of look at the plans and crunch the numbers. What's going to be the best pick for you? What do you need in your plan? How much data do you need? And things like that. Dennis, what about someone who's like an international student who's visiting the United States? Do you think?
So this is an interesting topic because for most international students, for any MVNO that runs off of Verizon or AT&T isn't going to be an option for them, generally speaking, and it's because their phones just don't work on those networks, right?
Wow.
Which means they're going to have to go with T-Mobile based options, generally speaking.
That's
Unless
a really
they're
interesting point. I would have thought as a US-based customer that pretty much the iPhones and the Samsung phones are getting the band support, so I'm fine if I travel internationally. But you're right. If you're an international person, maybe your phone doesn't support some of the bands that the US carriers are using. And I know a lot of international countries are more into the budget phones, aka they're way smarter, they're more frugal, they're trying to save some money. And so, Dennis, that's a really interesting point. So it sounds like T-Mobile is going to be the better option or the more compatible option.
Well, there's 3 quick things before we move on from this real fast. One, if you have an iPhone, you're probably going to be fine. However, there's 3 ways that carriers authenticate your phones. They check your IMEI most often than not, and if it's not in the system because you bought it internationally, it's going to just show up as, not a thing, and they won't send you out the SIM card, right? 2 is that it just lacks band support because the most common phone outside the U.S. is Android by a long shot, and Android manufacturers make different variants. And then 3 is that even if your phone does technically have support, it just might be disabled based off the firmware that's preloaded on the phone because, as you know, Android gets a little funky with that kind of thing, which is why I'm saying that we should base off the fact that they're probably going to be stuck with a T-Mobile-based MVNO. I just wanted to add those clarifications because there might be 1 or 2 listeners that out there that might have iPhones that I don't want you to think you couldn't pick other things, but these are just things you have to bear in mind coming in,
Yeah, 100%.
Now, with that being said, if we're looking at T-Mobile, I think that for an international student, we have to nix Mint Mobile off the list because if you're an international student, Mint Mobile makes sense when you're buying in bulk. But if you're an international student, you're probably not staying in the U.S. for a year at a time, right? You're probably
Well, I would actually take the opposite approach. I think Mint Mobile can be a great option because you get that discount on your first 3 months of service. So when you sign up as a new customer, you're paying, instead of retail price, let's visit the site and just see what the full price is. Instead of paying $75 for this plan, you're getting that intro offer where it's $45. You're getting 3 months of service. It's on T-Mobile. I think that's actually a really good offer. And that is kind of that quarter of a semester. Kind of depends what the school year is. And yes, if you renew this plan, it is going to be more expensive. It will jump up to the $75 renewal price. But I still think that could be, for 6 months of service, you're basically paying, what is 25? It's like just over $100, maybe $120 with taxes.
Yeah,
I think that's a decent deal.
But I just think if I was an international student, right, you think about holiday breaks, right, I'm going back home, right? Like I don't want to be stuck with something for a very long period of time, right? That's like my mindset if I was an international student.
Yeah.
So I was actually going to say that in this situation, I think US Mobile GSM that's
the pick.
That's the pick.
Wow. Yeah, so that is great. So US Mobile does offer plans on the T-Mobile network. and as they're pretty much exactly the same. And you actually do get Wi-Fi calling on this, which is great. And you have that $15 5 gig plan, $12 for a gig. And again, super flexible, which is awesome depending on, like, I think your point about Mint can be good where, like, yeah, if you sign up for one of their plans, you're kind of stuck. You can upgrade, but you can't downgrade based on your usage. And maybe you're not sure what your usage is going to be like in the States, depending on, what you're doing. So I think US Mobile, that flexibility to switch plans on a monthly basis is really nice, or to just purchase data top-ups. Like, you could build your own plan completely custom, and then you can, pick how many minutes you want, text and data, and buy a top-up anytime you need it. And I think that's pretty good.
There's two other mentions I'd like to make here, though.
Yeah.
I actually want to say Tello.
Yeah.
Would be a great option here as well. And then lastly, I think that a third potential option is just going with T-Mobile Direct. Specifically,
prepaid.
Yes, but specifically that $15 plan that gives you like 2.5 gigs unlimited calling and texting.
Yeah. So T-Mobile Connect that's what that's called. It's actually 2.5 gigs, $15. Great plan. Great plan to consider. Low cost, affordable.
Only reason why I mentioned it is because I know T-Mobile prepaid is still going to have access to all the roaming agreements, which I know a good chunk of T-Mobile's coverage is roaming based. So
definitely helpful for sure. I will say it is only 100 megabytes of roaming data, but still, this is a great low cost plan. I do think you are getting a better value with US Mobile. $15 for 5 gigs versus 2.5 gigs. So, but yeah, that's interesting. And I think those are probably like some of the best low cost options to consider. Any unlimited plans, like maybe international student, heavy data user?
Yeah, I mean, for unlimited, I think going like Metro PCS.
Oh, that could be really good. They're really aggressive right now.
Yeah, Metro PCS has that deal going on right now where, like, what was it, ported number $25 for unlimited if you port from like Boost or something?
Yeah. Usual pricing is going to be $50 for unlimited. Actually, they do have the $40 deal.
No, but if you go on their website right now, they're doing
We're going. Let's see what they got. So it is I think it was $40 if you ported a line, but that's gone. Let's see.
No, it's right on the main page. You just got to go like right on the main page. There you go. Yeah, ditch Boost or Cricket to save half. So unlimited everything for $25 a month, and they hook you up with a free Samsung Galaxy A32 5G.
But you've got to switch to get this promo. I don't think international students going to have that.
Well, what they could do is they could get a Boost real quick, a Boost line.
All right.
And then make the switch. Because hear me out. You could get like a really cheap Boost line, right? Make the switch. And now not only do you have this $25 plan, but now you just got hooked up with a phone that's actually fully compatible with T-Mobile's network.
Yeah, I would definitely check the full terms on this because it might be one of those like financing things.
Prepaid doesn't do financing, right? It's just like, what's the terms here?
So price may increase after 24 months. That's not going to be a problem though, because you're probably doing a year at max.
Yeah.
Versus, okay. Looks
requires qualifying port in 0+ value. Wait, in trade in 0+ value. So you have to trade in something. It looks. Wait,
I don't think so. Because $0 in value means you probably wouldn't have to trade in anything.
Okay, and ID validation. I guess the only thing might be the ID part that might trip them up.
I think you're fine, actually. I didn't see any strings with that A32 5G. But if you are bringing your own device, you don't even need to worry about that. You can just grab the plan on a discount.
Well, the reason why I mentioned it is because even if you have an international device, you're still not fully compatible with all T-Mobile's bands, including like voice over NR and all the other different little things in the U.S.
Got it. So you're like, hey, boom, this is like a nice phone that has those extra features.
I mean, it's not the best phone in the world, but at least this way you're getting the full use of like the U.S. coverage, and then you got your international phone on the side, so you're kind of coming out. You're kind of walking out like a bandit, basically. And the pricing, it can't be beat. I mean, $25.
And you could score like a Boost Mobile $15 plan for a month.
Dude, you could do the $10 plan.
$10 plan for a month.
And
get what you need, and then hop on over to Metro. So yeah, I think some great options to consider for sure. And I do want to emphasize actually Tello. What I like about them is the free international calling to 60 plus countries. And that's really, really great. So you can see all rates. They're including, like, I think this is going to be really popular. Free calling to India, free calling to Mexico, free calling to China. We can see all rates on their site. If you do need to make a call to an international destination, you can see, let's see, free in any plan. We're getting, this is so many, I'm not even going to be able to read them, but very popular destinations here: Japan, Colombia, Chile, Canada, Brazil, Bangladesh. Just tons of options included for free. Now, I do believe you need to use the Telo application to make calls, but either way, that's and it is landlines only for some destinations. It looks like Japan is landlines only, Russia landlines only, things like that. But if you're trying to stay in touch with friends and family back home, having free international calling, I think can be just a nice perk to have with your plan.
But real quick, I want to take a quick pause because I see some comments asking if we're only answering Patreon questions. No, we're going to be answering questions here. We're actually going to dedicate a whole segment just to answering questions here in a little bit of time. Let's just wrap up this piece real quick, and then we'll move on to answering any questions that you guys have for us.
Yeah, so I think that was that, Dennis.
Oh, I was just going to say, but before we wrapped up this piece, there was one other unlimited plan I wanted to mention as a possibility in case you didn't want to do the Metro thing that I mentioned. And that is just going straight up with T-Mobile's prepaid unlimited direct.
Yeah, I think that's the best option if you're looking for international. You want something that's prepaid. You don't want to deal with any postpaid nonsense. I think $50 unlimited, great deal on the T-Mobile network. Or you could do $60 unlimited, and this has hotspot.
But okay, that wraps up that. Let's answer some questions that are coming in for you. And if you guys haven't asked them yet, please feel free to do so. Me and Stetson are not going to take any questions. Also, I will just quickly say that this episode is sponsored by the like button. I see we got 82 of y'all. Please make sure you're smashing it.
Smash the like button. We really do appreciate it. It actually does really help support the show. Lets YouTube know we like it. And that's awesome.
But okay. Earlier, I saw someone ask me about the Verizon student discount. I'm trying to find that comment.
Oh, that was super early on. And we also got, I think someone gave us a sticker. So I want to thank Mr. John Michael for giving us a sticker. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. And I think someone...
Yeah, it was at 7:05 p.m. Dennis recommends Verizon student discount, lol.
Dennis, thoughts on student discount?
As far as my knowledge, isn't Verizon student discount something like, I don't know, $10?
I think it's like $10.
It's totally not worth it.
Let me try and pull this up just so we can get confirmation. Oh God.
The only way Verizon...
Well, there's something decent here. So, college students get 2 lines for $95 a month on Start. Oh, it's Start Unlimited. Oh,
yeah,
no.
Why? But time. Pause. Why would a college student need 2 lines?
I don't know. Your brother and sister. You and your friend. You want to, but friends don't do this. I don't know any friend who's like, yes, Stetson, I want to go in on a cell phone plan with you.
Listen, if a college student has multiple lines, then it's probably with their parents, which probably already have an account that they're paying for. And then as far as one line, it is $10. Yeah, it's like a $10.
Terrible. That's the bottom line. Terrible. Next question.
Yeah, it's not good. So no to Verizon directly. At that point, you better off. Like if you're gonna get Verizon Start, just get Xfinity Unlimited. It literally gets you 5G access when Verizon Start doesn't.
Boom. Yeah, 100%. Or go US Mobile.
Or US Mobile. But anywho, I wanted to make sure I
say
that.
Name's Kazi for a girlfriend. Maybe.
Yeah, but
honestly, I think most college students have a line with their parents, and paying for your share of a Verizon family plan is by hands down way better than anything we showed today.
And I was just gonna say, I mean, I don't know how. I mean, maybe I'm just really different, but like getting a partner on my cell phone plan is not something that comes to my mind. That's like maybe when we're married, possibly, and even then, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm the weird one, but I wouldn't trust a college fling to go on my cell phone plan because that gets real ugly if they start financing a device and all the complications that come from that. But Let's see. What's the best plan for Sims with public IPs for remote access applications? Stetson, I have a feeling you're not going to know anything about that, so I think that's a me question here.
That is 100% a Dennis question. Dennis, please take the floor with this one.
So, my answer on this one is that T-Mobile network anything is bad because they have really bad support when it comes to like doing remote-based applications because of how they have things set up, and you're gonna basically want to look for something that uses AT&T's network or Verizon's network. As far as
Can't Los Mobile do static IP? Is that what you need for this?
he's not asking about a static IP, I don't think.
Okay, you need a public IP.
But yeah, something like anything running on like AT&T and Verizon network will be fine, based off the understanding of the question, which is just remote access for applications. And the reason why I was saying T-Mobile's bad is because they get a little wonky with IPv6 only sometimes, and some older stuff needs IPv4 still, and it gets weird. But
yeah. All right.
Honestly, with this kind of stuff, you kind of don't want to use anything cell phone related, to be honest. You really should just be using your home internet.
That is probably true.
Or use a VPN connected through your home internet or something. But anywho, Debo Bop says, Penn State question, I need this info. Debo Bop, hit me. What is the question in regards to Penn State?
Or I think we're going to be waiting on that for a little bit. Just given the time delay of the chat. Try to use... Oh, this is an interesting question. How many gigabytes does everyone use on their unlimited plans? Really? 40 gigabytes with 18 days left. Use about 50 to 100. That's pretty interesting. Over 70 before. Debo Bot. Interesting. Harsh, 92 gigabytes. That's great. Visible all the way. Yeah, it's true. If you go over 50, that's when you want to look at like the truly unlimited options.
Debo Bop had me scroll up at 7:26 p.m. is where his question is.
All right, let's see.
He said, Dennis, let's get to the premium users on Penn State. What plan would you recommend?
So first of all, what network is really good at Penn State?
They were all really good.
Okay.
There was not a bad one. I mean, I guess we should define what is Penn State. If we're talking on campus, or are we talking about State College as a whole?
Can we do both? Let's do like one on campus and then one if you're off.
Okay, if we're on campus, literally all of them are fantastic. Like, there are legit cell sites that I could see on top of school buildings from all the respective carriers, and it's delicious. Now,
for that, I would hardcore, or like an actual recommendation, I would go T-Mobile prepaid. I think $50. This is probably your best bet because it is postpaid priority. 50 gigs priority data on T-Mobile. Probably not going to be as congested, and probably good price performance ratio.
Honestly, you don't even need priority data, to be honest. Like, it's that densely.
It's that good.
It's
AT&T prepaid. I think those would be the two ones: T-Mobile prepaid or AT&T prepaid.
Yeah, it's that densely packed on campus. Like, they got the whole bonanza, and I think they have N41 there too now already. So, but all right. So on campus, it doesn't matter. But if we're talking like off campus, T-Mobile's garbage. So T-Mobile real bad when we're talking off campus. In that point, it's got to be AT&T or Verizon if we're just talking about having a signal on your phone. And then it just comes down to raw capacity, at which point I lean towards AT&T. And then the option becomes clear. If you want the most premium of premium, just go with Los Mobile.
I would probably go Elite actually, because that is a higher tier priority than Los Mobile for my testing. And
but we're talking about for college students and pricing, which $65 all in.
Yeah, versus the 85. Otherwise, I would just do AT&T prepaid. I think this plan just can't be beat. $50, cheaper than Los Mobile, and still has like a lot of the premium features you want in a cell phone plan. Although I will say Los Mobile does have the hotspot.
Yeah, unlimited hotspot's kind of nice.
Sorry, David asked a really funny question. Any limitations or restrictions on campus Wi-Fi that would make you want a higher data plan? Yeah, as we literally touched on in the first half of this video, like get a low data plan if you're a college student because... I
mean, I know some campuses actually have data caps. Like I remember Penn State IT reached out to me whenever I was in campus. Yeah. I remember they notified me and they were like, yo, why are you using over 1.5 terabytes to this machine? Like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, just doing stuff, gaming, you know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was totally farming Monero on Penn State electricity because
Oh my gosh. I think I had a friend who is farming. I think Bitcoin mining is what he was doing, or maybe he was doing Ethereum at the time.
I was
slightly
doing
different.
Monero because it was a quicker like hash rate and stuff like that, and then I was
Yeah.
just totally taking advantage of the fact that I didn't like dorm rate was dorm rate, so the electric was free and I didn't care.
Yeah, 100%. Is college Wi-Fi secure?
I mean, yeah, for the most part, because
I think it's fine.
anybody that's connected to the Penn or well, I get it depends on how your college does it, but if it's like Penn State requires you to log in with your student credentials, and you have to download like a certificate like on like Mac OS and iPhones and stuff like that like certify that you're the one connecting type of deal. So I'd say it's pretty secure.
All right. What else do we have for comments here? I'm trying to see if there were any comments on the previous video that we could pull up and see. Some people saying visible is slow.
The West Torosi Ninja asked, "Are college networks regularly hacked while the students around?" Lol. I mean, I'm sure student credentials get stolen like all the time, but as far as like a network-wide hack, on like a campus Wi-Fi network, I don't foresee that happening because like a student account's not going to have the permissions necessary to get anywhere far. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. This is an interesting question. Can you tell me if Xiaomi will run with T-Mobile? My phone is GSM.
Depends on the Xiaomi phone. Can't base it off just the brand. We have to get specific on the phone itself.
It's got to be specific model number. And I will say that a resource you can consider is GSM Arena. They're pretty good at listing all of the bands in specific phones and specific models of phones. So if we check this site out, you can kind of see what would be an example. Let's just look at a Xiaomi phone for an example. Let's see, it's the Xiaomi Redmi 10. This just popped up. So you can actually go, it's kind of hard to see, but I'll go on the top here. It says network technology. You can click expand and you can see the bands. And you can see this phone does not have that many 4G bands. And
yeah, it's missing band 12 and 71, which are like
and 66.
Which are like, well, band 12 and 71 specifically are really important to T-Mobile because that's where a lot of their low band coverage is, which is what they expanded.
And 71.
So you're not going to be having a great experience.
And I will say, like, as an example, I updated the Best Phone Plans website. So now it says on each carrier's page what the bands are for T-Mobile and what the primary bands are. And yeah, as I said, like 12, 66, really important, and 71. And this Xiaomi phone, the Redmi 10, I pulled up in this example, is missing those bands. So you could have poor performance.
Oh, not could. You will.
You will have bad performance.
You're going to be literally missing about half of T-Mobile's coverage because like half of it is low band stuff that they deployed within like the past couple years.
Yeah. So I'll leave this. I'll just drop a link in the live chat right now if you want to check it out and see what specific phone you have and what bands it supports. Just for comparison, I'm going to throw in a Pixel 5 because they're typically pretty good at band support. And you can immediately see just the huge list of 4G bands. This model does have 5G bands as well. So
I'm just going to do a broad sweeping general rule of thumb here.
Yeah.
But if you have a Chinese-made phone, Huawei, Xiaomi, Oppo, whatever, probably not going to work well in the U.S. Like, period, point blank. You might just have carriers that just straight up say no. Like, we're not activating this. If you have an international phone made by like someone like Samsung, some international variant of like some old LG or something like that, probably going to have a lot better luck on US, but still going to be maybe missing some key important features.
Yeah.
But like that's the general rule of thumb. Like Chinese phones don't play nice on US networks.
Absolutely. And I will say, Mikhail's asking, do we have a master list of bands for US carriers? Actually, Mikhail, my friend, if you head on over to the Best Phone Plans site, let's just go back to the homepage here. And if you go to networks in the top, I have a tab for each network: Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and let's just open Verizon up in a new tab here. This is Verizon Network. You can actually go down to Verizon LTE bands, and there's a whole section where I explain what the primary bands are for both LTE and for 5G, and then I kind of explain what they're used for on the network itself, which hopefully kind of helps you understand, what they're using band 13 for. It's a primary band. 31.8% of Verizon's total LTE traffic is on band 13, deployed in 10 by 10 megahertz blocks, things like that, to help you gauge what bands you want to have in your phone, or just to learn something new. So
Yeah, but Stetson, one thing that's really important to bring up here, and I touched on this earlier, but just because a phone says it supports specific bands doesn't mean it's going to work on the carrier. Like, it
Right.
might not be certified to work. Like, I'll give a great example of this, okay? AT&T is a fantastic example of this. Look what happened with Cricket, and think about my past experience that I talked about on the show when I had like a Nexus 6P. Clearly supports voice over LTE, but AT&T said no. Same thing would happen with a Chinese phone. Even if it has support for like bands 2 and 4 and maybe 5, where AT&T uses some of that kind of stuff, AT&T could just be straight up like no and have that blacklisted or just not allow you to activate it. So it really, again, I mean, it sucks to a certain extent, but like basically Chinese phones, if you're using a Chinese made phone, with the exception of OnePlus, you're not going to have a good experience on the US network. International phones made by someone like Samsung, or I'm trying to think of some other international phone maker, Nokia.
yeah, maybe OnePlus. I mean, they're kind of weird where they have some phones US, some phones
But those are going to
international.
have a slightly better experience on the US network. So then obviously the most ideal are going to be phones that were sold in the US. See, that's the funny thing, right? Phones sold in the US work everywhere. Phones sold outside the US do not.
Yeah, it is a little weird. It is a little weird.
But we are not getting too
Yeah.
many questions, I feel like.
So maybe we'll just see if there's any more. I was just checking last stream. We had one. Let me see if I can pull this up. View on YouTube. Actually, I want to view the comment on YouTube.
Oh, Brandon asked the question. Would you recommend Circled In for students, or are there some MVNOs that provide better value? Looking for a good amount of priority data on AT&T.
Brandon, great question. Dennis, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I never used Circled In. I know that the comments about what people have said have been hit or miss. I think you said you used it a little bit, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, so a quick refresher if you're unfamiliar with Circled In. The idea is that you form a group with people online and you can save service. And Circled In is actually handling the whole experience of adding your line to a plan, removing your line, things like that. So you can get unlimited starter, let's just say for $30 a month. Honestly, Brandon, I would hesitate as a student to go with Circled In because typically you need your phone number for two-factor authentication. And for my personal number, I'm not sure if I would want it on Circled In just yet. I think for a student, you're probably better off going with an MVNO. And on AT&T, all MVNOs, actually, from my testing, do have priority data. Like, I tested Red Pocket and Pure Talk, and they both had the same priority level as AT&T Unlimited Extra. I think the AT&T network has enough capacity where it wouldn't really matter getting that priority data plan. I think you'd be fine with an MVNO and going with something more affordable. And even
Not
if you,
even an MVNO. I mean, AT&T's prepaid, we already said, has the best unlimited plan, $50.
yeah, Dennis and I love this plan. It's on sale right now. There's a discount. That's why we love it so much. You are getting 22 gigs full priority data, exact same speed and performance as unlimited extra, 4K streaming, 10 gigs hotspot. As a student, you could also consider the $25 8 gig plan. Maybe you're able to utilize campus Wi-Fi to drop your data usage. And this plan is an annual plan, but as a student, you're typically in one location for a set period of time, so that should be fine.
What's
And you're
extra run you with discount?
What do you mean with discount?
With the student discount that AT&T's doing?
I don't think extra is eligible for a student discount.
Is it not?
Yeah, my understanding with AT&T is that the student discount is only available on Elite, and it makes Elite the cost of extra.
Okay. Well, then Elite might not be a bad option if you really want the most.
Yeah, if you really want it. I mean, Brandon, I'm not sure if you want to spend like $400, $500 a year on a cell phone plan. But there you go. I mean, if you could consider it for sure. Circled in is definitely affordable. I would just assess like what you feel comfortable with. I think, yeah, I would just want to be able to manage my plan, and I'm a lower usage individual, so that's what I would go for.
I just had a spicy thought. How about him getting on like a Dish plan since Dish has the AT&T roaming?
Interesting. I think I would. I don't think has Dish implemented AT&T roaming yet.
I think they're in the process of transitioning.
I think I would hold off because you're basically on T-Mobile, and if you're on T-Mobile, then I think Mint Mobile's a better value. I think US Mobile's a better value, or I think T-Mobile prepaid is a better value for truly unlimited data. Brandon,
Yeah.
you're 100% welcome. Happy to help you out.
Um,
And yeah, insane fire. Red Pocket does have priority data with AT&T. However, this is an important, like, weird caveat that no one's talking about that I need to make some videos. I got to pump some content out. There is a 75 megabit per second speed cap on Red Pocket AT&T LTE. When you're connected to 5G, there is no speed cap. So kind of a weird caveat with the service. That said, you are still getting priority data. 75 megabits per second is more than plenty for everything you could need. So I still give them a thumbs up as a really good low-cost value option.
Uwu Moshi, thank you. He said October is when Dish is making the swap to AT&T.
Interesting.
But let's see. Cedric was saying how he just switched from Visual because the data was so slow it would call at the worst times for him, and that he switched to Simple Mobile, but the signal sucked where he lives, so he went to AT&T Prepaid Unlimited.
Yeah, so that's being deprioritized on Verizon. And Dennis, as we've talked about before, Visible has those slightly higher ping times. So that could understandably be slow for some individuals. Simple Mobile is T-Mobile, so that's probably bad T-Mobile coverage in your area. And AT&T Prepaid Unlimited Plus, like Dennis, we've said it before and we've said it again, it's the best value unlimited data plan available right now that you can get. And that's what I said in my AT&T Prepaid review, so consider checking that out for more information.
Hey, Mikhail Martinez at 747 asked the question. It's a little off topic on the video, but I think it'd be cool to talk about real quick. He asked if we've seen the Sneed video where he talked about Sasha Segan's article that T-Mobile and Verizon 5G are now on time, or now 5G are on, and now is the time to get 5G phones on their network. Do you think it's time to get a 5G phone, Stetson?
I think if you're in need of phone upgrade, I think now is a great time to get a 5G phone. I'm not sure it's something I would go out and buy a new phone for. Like if I had an iPhone 10s, or if I had a Galaxy S, S10 or whatever, and it's still working great for my needs, I wouldn't rush out to buy one. But I actually do think 5G has evolved and matured. I think from their testing, they showed speeds were starting to become more and more consistently faster on the 5G networks, and speeds will continue to get faster on 5G as the networks are optimized and transitioned over to 5G. So I think I would definitely consider it. Like, I think the new S22 we're going to see this year is going to be awesome. I think the new iPhones are going to be awesome. And the best part is, since Apple launched 5G with the iPhone 12, you're going to start to see some really good deals on iPhone 12 and good discounts on that device that can make it even more affordable. So honestly, I would go for it. Like, I think now's a great time to get a 5G phone. What's your take, Dennis? Are you like, yes, 5G is here, or are you more like, just get a new phone if you need it?
I'm on the fence. I think if you have T-Mobile, getting 5G is important. Just because their LTE network wasn't the strongest, and 5G is what's getting all the love now at this point. So any coverage expansions are happening on 5G typically.
Yeah, they actually did see like noticeable coverage improvements on 5G, which was great.
And same thing with capacity improvements as well. That's all happening on the 5G side of things. Do I think you should go out of your way to upgrade your phone just to have the opportunity to see if 5G is good in your area? No. If T-Mobile hasn't been good in your area, I'm of the proponent that you should just switch to another provider and get access to a network that has already established good coverage, because it's going to be probably cheaper for you overall. And you just wait to get your new phone until there's a better deal. If T-Mobile really ends up being as good as being reported, you can always switch back, and you'll probably get better deals anyway, because that's where T-Mobile does all the free goodies, like the buy you out of your contract, or gives you the new phone deals and all that other good stuff, right? So that's kind of my stance on it. And then when it comes to like AT&T and Verizon, I don't, unless it's millimeter wave, like it's whatever. Like AT&T's LTE is, in times for you, Stetson, has been better than their 5G.
Oh yeah, for my testing, Verizon's LTE and AT&T's LTE speeds were actually faster than their 5G speeds. But as I mentioned, this was actually last year, almost a year ago, where I did that test. And I think, as the networks have evolved, more and more people are starting to buy the new iPhones, are starting to get 5G. More and more people are buying the new Samsung phones, are starting to get 5G. Samsung's putting 5G in the lower cost budget A72, A52 phones. So I think they are starting to improve. But I don't think, like, if you run out, buy a 5G phone, I don't think, unless you're on T-Mobile, I don't think there's going to be a night and day difference. Like, I would say T-Mobile.
Even if you are on T-Mobile, I just don't think now's the greatest time, because like the next iteration of 5G modems are going to be the first ones that actually support carrier aggregation on standalone 5G, which is going to be a much more important feature in the long term as more bands get added, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think for average consumers, if you're on T-Mobile, I would say I would definitely really consider it this year. Get yourself a nice upgrade. I think it'll really help. If you're on AT&T and Verizon, I think we need to wait and see what happens with their C-band deployments before it's like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Like, I don't know. I just think you're probably fine. So that's my take.
Yeah, I lean in that camp. If you were planning on getting a new phone, it should be a 5G phone. But if you weren't planning on getting a new phone, 5G should not be the reason why you're doing it.
Yep. All right. I actually had some questions about Walmart Family Mobile. Let's see.
We heard about this before.
Yeah, so Quantum Vortex asks, what about Family Mobile from Walmart? So I think this is actually surprising me. I have it on the site, and my eyes are not believing what they're seeing. Because, Dennis, they're seeing a $50 unlimited plan, same as T-Mobile prepaid, but with 30 gigabytes of hotspot data. This seems like a really good deal. The other plans these are actually expensive. The $40 plan's decent. So it's really, if you're a heavier data user, I would say Walmart Family Mobile can work. Let's check out this site, Dennis. Let's see these plans in action, and see if we're correct here. Oh, shoot. Dennis, this is legit.
They doubled the data on it. The $40 plan, they doubled the data. It's a
my
promo.
God.
It's a promo, but they doubled the data. Same thing with the other two.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Jeez. This is kind of like a sneak attack.
Honestly, these aren't bad. Honestly, like
this is almost better than Metro. This is better than Metro. Yeah, that is, because look, speeds further reduced after 40 gigs. So you're actually getting 5 additional gigabytes of faster data. Okay, because Metro will slow you down. They'll really deprioritize you after 35 gigs.
Yeah, but this is a hard throttle to 2G speeds.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. For the limited data plans, yes. But for the truly unlimited plan, this is truly unlimited.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the 40 gigabyte one, because that's where you were talking about 40 gigabytes.
Yeah. So this is legit. 40 gigs, awesome. But the truly unlimited plan, this is the 40 gigs. This is what, like, down here is where I was looking. Dude, these are great. Let's see what the multi-line discount gives us. I didn't see anything change.
Nothing changed.
Wait.
Oh, yes, it did. Look, at the bottom, it says $24.88 for each additional line.
Oh. That sounds expensive to me. Well, because that breakdown would be like $30. I got to add these to the site. Jeez Louise.
But, okay, as far as these go, I guess my biggest problem is it's through Walmart.
Yeah, so for clarification, this is on the T-Mobile network. I think this is a better value. I mean, it's a better deal. It's so hard to, it's like, Metro has their promo. If you get the promo, go Metro. If you're not getting the promo and you're going a regular Metro plan, then they do have some nice perks, which I don't think we can ignore, right? You're getting Google One, you're getting Amazon Prime. It is $60, and you're getting 15 gigs of hotspot. $50, you're getting 5 gigs of hotspot. But Dennis, like, if we look at Metro's plans, freaking 30 gigabytes of mobile. This is more than T-Mobile prepaid.
This
What
is
is
more than
happening?
T-Mobile Magenta.
It's more than T-Mobile Magenta. Oh my God. Dennis, I am just... How do you even respond to this?
I mean, again, my comment of, but it's going through Walmart.
But it is going through Walmart.
And I don't know, Stetson, how much you've dealt with Walmart, but like I remember when Walmart tried to get into the gaming PC space, and there was plenty of reviews talking about how it was absolute garbage. And I think the same, even though on paper it looked great, I think the same could possibly be said about this cell phone service. I would have serious concerns dealing with Walmart support.
Honestly, though, I think support can be hit or miss with any carrier.
But it's Walmart.
I'm hearing you, dude. I think it could actually be an option. It seems like Quantum Vortex, I'm going to say this could be a legitimate option if you want to give it a try. And I am impressed by the plan value specifically.
I'm impressed by the value, but again, in the same way that I wouldn't port an important number over to Visible, I don't know if I'd port an important number over to Walmart.
Right, like, when you get it back? Unsure. But
like,
I hope... What else? Yeah.
But, I mean, basically when I'm looking at this, the best value options here are the $40 plan and the $50 plan.
Yeah, these are outstanding. Sorry, the website is just like flash. I gotta move the mouse out of the way.
And the $40 plan specifically, I was gonna say, for all intents and purposes, can be looked at like an unlimited plan, considering that the average data user, like,
yeah, 100%. And 10 gigs of hotspot.
But I will also just say that I actually think Mint Mobile,
dude, Mint or US Mobile, I think are actually probably better.
are still better.
Yeah, because if we just do a quick gander, we do our best plans. US Mobile, $45 for 75 gigs, or you can actually grab 30 gigs for $30. This is a great value, very similar and a little bit cheaper. And then Mint Mobile, the classic, $30 for 35 gigs. This is only a 4 gig difference. Yeah, you're missing out on the hotspot data, but I think they have the experience on lock when it comes to sign up, activation, application, customer service, and support. Like, it actually exists. So,
yeah, I mean, as Nightcore is saying, like Dennis said, it's Walmart. but and then Roy Jones. No, I'm not actually a Target guy. In fact, I've barely shopped at Target in my life. Only when I was at Penn State, because they had like a little like walk-on thing on campus. But honestly, I mean, Walmart. Look, I know I was making a joke for entertainment purposes. Walmart's cool. I buy stuff from there, groceries, whatever. But on the same token, I wouldn't trust them for my cell phone service.
That is, at least, name's Kazi, at least they won't get hacked as much as T-Mobile.
That remains to be seen.
Shots fired. Honestly, so yeah, to conclude this segment, it's a great value. I would say your mileage may vary in terms of the experience when it comes to customer service and support. The plans themselves are legit. That's what I would say. All right. We've got Joey. Joey, thank you for the super chat. We truly appreciate it. I'm really sorry to hear you had to run away from an abusive father. That sounds really, really terrible. But thank you for the suggestion. SafeLink is good. Free, unlimited everything.
What is SafeLink the thing that the government provides? Is that the one?
Here it is, Dennis. SafeLink Wireless. It looks like you do need to apply for it. Unlimited talks and text and data. No purchase necessary. Limited time offer. International calling. Supported by the Emergency Broadband Benefit, a federal program providing temporary service to eligible customers.
If I remember correctly, I think they hook you up with the option of like a free iPhone SE.
Yeah, free smartphone, it says. But
I'm pretty sure. I'll make 99% sure this is primarily aimed at like elderly and just people like I think they actually qualify for like government stuff
Yeah,
for this.
yeah. C plans. I'm just kind of curious.
Or maybe anybody can get it. I'm not 100% sure. Can anybody get it? I'm really not sure.
It looked like you did need to apply. Free phone. That's what I'm seeing. But either way, thank you for the tip. You know, if anyone is eligible for the emergency broadband benefit, this could be something to look into.
Oh, Joey clarified. If you're on food stamps or SSI or low income, you can get it. So okay, so this does have some stipulations. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought so. But yeah, still a great option. I'm glad it exists. That's a very important thing to have. Being connected is very, very important. You literally can't function without a phone of some kind. So I'm glad it exists. But I think we reached the hour mark. I think we should call it and then maybe work on doing the podcast.
Absolutely. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this live stream of We Recommend Cell Phone Plans. Thank you for all of your questions. If you have a question, the idea for this was actually emailed to me. Please feel free to leave a comment in this video description. If you're a student looking for a new plan, if you're planning an international trip, you want to know the best plans for that. You want to know the absolute best cheap plan, or maybe a plan to use as an emergency phone in your glove box. Drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear it. Make sure to click the like button to show your support. We really appreciate it. Episode sponsored by the like button. They're paying. Like button is paying a lot for that primo real estate. So thank you all. Either way, that's been it. I'm Stetson.
And I'm Dennis.
And we'll look forward to talking to you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.